Hey guys, welcome back. It is Lucid. We're jumping back into our game with Sceleria, turn 68. A bunch of time has passed between when I recorded the last episode and when I recorded this one, so my perspective might be a tiny bit different. Anyway. So our blood economy, we got about 30 slaves. Not horrible for a nation bootstrapping into blood. But we're only going to be able to do, I think this is one thing I kind of want to talk about a little bit. When you bootstrap into blood, you're never going to be a blood nation. Like, you're never going to get a lot of blood. Unless the game goes really, really late. Because it's going to take you a long time. Even if you get blood on your pretender and you use your pretender, you can kind of get into blood if you do that from the very beginning of the game. Like, if he's awake and instead of researching you have him blood hunting or something crazy. But aside from that, you're really going to get a trickle of blood slaves, which you can use to do tactical things, but you're not going to have some overwhelming blood economy. Anyway, we have some fights. If you recall, we kind of lost some big battles with Agartha in the last episode, and we're a little bit on the back foot, but that does not mean we're going to stop raiding. It just means we're going to try to dodge his major armies. So let's take a look at what's going on. We probably shouldn't click on all these. In fact, we're going to click on this one as a surprise, but after this one. Okay. This group of dudes is probably going to... Okay, we're just getting everybody, I think, out of the fort. Did we... What was this guy doing? He's trying to die, maybe? I don't know. Well, we caused gem usage, which was nice. There goes Shadow Blast and a bunch of other stuff. So that's okay. I don't know what all we cast, but we cast a fair amount of stuff. So, most all our guys are treated, which is fine. We killed one dude, I guess this are two dudes, two mages actually. We lost a lot of our thaumaturgs. Not totally sure what our scripting, like what happened. I guess we just, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so he attacks us here in Scythia. Actually, I think we're just going to... Okay, now we'll click on these. We'll just see if there's any big ones, and then we'll take a look at the world map. There's pinging him. Pinging. Okay, I raided successfully. I raid successfully. He raids unsuccessfully. Or no. He raids successfully. Moves a big army. I think this is where I was sieging down one of his forts, if I recall. Is it Nern? Wyden. I think this is one of his forts. Yeah, I had cracked that fort, so he moved that army to come in and knock me off of it. But I ran away. Okay, we successfully raid. We didn't get his mage, unfortunately. We successfully raid. He is attacking us, and he fails in his raid. And he is attacking us again inside a fort. Go watch that. Okay, so this is inside our throne, and I have basically evacuated. When you saw everybody retreating before, that was an evacuation, I think, to this army. And yeah, we have nothing there that can fight that. So our PD and some skeletons lose, which is fine. We have another battle here in Turim, and we are breaking one of his forts. And I believe this is a fort he could not defend. So he's just running. Okay, and our big, beefy moose trolls are running into combat. So I think we know how that will go. Minor casualties, and we took the fort. So we traded forts. Unfortunately, the fort we traded, I lost a throne, which is unfortunate. For events, we didn't get too much. So, oh, and I lost blood saves. That's kind of shitty. Okay, now, if we look at it, I've still got a pretty good claim on a lot of these lands in the middle. This was the fort I took, so I'm getting... If we look at where Agartha's armies are, he has a small little medium army here, he has a pretty big army here, and he has a big army here. And he has his biggest army down this way. Now, what that means is there's not really anything to defend this part of the map. So, I'm going to push where he's not. He also has a big army here, and a big army here. So he has some big armies, but he doesn't have enough armies to cover even remotely effectively all of his lands. So we're going to push in and see how much of this we can take. The only problem is this is a little bit of a ways away from my logistics center. If I had Undead Command, it would be a lot easier for me to shuffle troops out in this direction and raid more effectively. I mean, we are going to be raiding every province we're bordering, but we'd be able to do it with a lot more undead if we had undead command. Anyway, so here we go. We are moving on top of this fort. Now, this is not a fort I think he can defend easily. This fort is, so it's highly likely he moves here and kicks me off. But if he's here, he can't move aquatically with most of his troops over in this direction. So this is I think, a pretty safe move. We have just kind of the basic communion with, I think we ran out of gems. Yeah. So no gem communion, which is basically going to be divine blessing, skelly spam, etc. It'd be nice if I had one pearl for power of the spheres. That really helps my communions. We have a big force here. This is kind of scary. It's also kind of close to my throne, but we have a bunch of things in the way. Like, we have this fort with a ton of zombies in it. Do I have zombies in here? I don't really have zombies here. This fort, while I've cracked it, I do not think I'm going to stay here, because it's highly likely he moves something here, and if he does, I'm probably going to lose that. So we're going to dodge his major armies, because he's kind of proven now that if we have a very pitched battle, he's going to win unless I have some kind of overwhelming force. And I don't have any armies right now that really have overwhelming force where I would feel comfortable beating his hardest army. So anyway, we're moving here. Down here, we're raiding basically every single province. And yeah, do we have gems on these guys? I don't. Okay, we do have some. So we've got Relief, Warriors of Niflheim, which is going to give us that all-important fire resistance versus the Magma Children. We do have Power of Spheres and not quite enough gems for Mass Flight, so I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here with that. But we will be making a play up this way towards that throne. This fort we've cracked also, and I think we're going to be able to storm it. I don't think there's a big army in here. He has been kind of raiding and counter-raiding from these forces to take these lands back, but anyway, we're going to continue. There's a temple here, so that's another priority, is if I see a templed province, we're going to go. And I've got my assassins here lurking, waiting to see if anybody kind of sticks their head out, and I can cut off the army from the commander, and then hopefully nab it. Anyway, we're moving over this way. We're storming here. Now, this is a little bit of an interesting situation. We've popped this fort also, and this is a pretty good little mage core. You know, we can do Mass Flight and Fog Warriors and a bunch of the other stuff if we want to. The thing is, we would decidedly lose to these guys. So what I can do is I can run from them. As I run from them, they don't want to probably pull too far away. Like, they'll probably chase me off here. There's also a chance they could anticipate I move here, so they could move back up. But anyway, we're going to go here, and the main goal is I just want to get this army kind of unsituated and far away from other forts. So we're moving semi-chaotically, we're moving away from his armies where I think it's unlikely we're going to have attacks, and I'm going to continuously put more medium to large size armies on the field from my forts. And then, yeah, again, every province we can raid, we're going to send a raiding squad. And some of our raiding squads are not mage supported, like this one, not mage supported. Not mage supported. And it's enough to kill basically an unlimited amount of PD. Some of them are mage supported, like this one. But he's not scripted to cast much of anything important. Some of them have the basic communion, which this is kind of what this is. This is a little more than basic, but basic is when you have basically 4 or 5 mages. 4 mages who can get up to Holy 3, or 6 mages who can get up to 5 to 6 mages who can get up to Holy 4. That's kind of the basic setup. Also, we have kind of attack down here, and we're, gonna leave one dude on top. We're gonna run up this way. I have a huge army here on top of this fort. We are gonna try to storm it. Now, the script I have here is I have Relief, Warriors of Niflheim, and Foul Vapors. Here, I have Power of the Spheres and Life After Death, and we have a bunch of Skelly Spam scripted, and that's about it. So if this is a really hard army, we'll probably lose. But if we lose, as long as we kill a fair amount of stuff, I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. It's really about causing attrition. One of the things I probably should do here, in case he sends like a Tartarian out after me, is I probably should put some of these guys on advance and cast spells, and that way they can do control undead. But I think that's it. One thing we're going to do real quick before we pull up the next turn is we're going to look at score graphs, and you can see this war with Agartha. So this is kind of the grindy war with Marignon. This is the war with Ys. Here's the war with Agartha. So Agartha took a bunch of stuff, which was definitely good for him. He's still far higher in his province count than he was before with the war with Marignon. But you can see I have kind of fought my way into some of those spoils as well, and that's kind of what that's showing. Research, you can see we're doing good. Forts, we're good. Gym income, we're doing good. Gym income, we're doing phenomenal. Dominion is continuing to grow. Army size is growing, which means I'm not moving troops to the front line fast enough is what that really means. Let's go check on our god and our astral dude. We didn't put up any... Let's check the global situation. So we've got Arcane Nexus, Stellar Focus. He has Gifts of Health, Eternal Pyre, and Purgatory. We're using our Earth Gems to cast Troll King. I'm pretty sure... Where were you? I know you're somewhere over here. Did I leave you in here? Death Lord. Okay, Astral Lord. Okay, we're just researching. We're not doing anything terribly interesting or important on that front with our god. If we take a look at our research targets, we're going up for Thaumaturgy 9. That is going to open Master and Slave, which is going to be pretty sweet, and Undead Mastery, depending on what I need. Those are really good in-game spells for a big astral powerhouse like Sceleria. So that's definitely something I want to look to do. Yeah. So I think that's about it for this turn, turn 68. Let's go ahead and pull up turn 69. And here we go. We're going to do 2 turns an episode. 69, we've got a huge disease demon that attacked us. So I believe this is Abysia. And we can see Abysia is deciding to attack us. Abysia was deciding who he's going to attack, whether he's going to attack me and Agartha, and I think he probably made the wise decision to attack me. But he's not in a great position. Anyway, we can talk about it, but at this point, once I've eaten enough of Agartha's land, then I'm clearly the major threat and they need to T-bump against me. So this is pretty smart. The problem is that it's going to be really hard for him to take a ton of stuff. So if he wins, he's going to win very slowly, whereas it'd be nice if he figured out a way to attack like some of the Marinese lands, which haven't all been forted and aren't filled with undead. That would be a lot easier for him. Okay, more disease demons. Now, part of the problem of them doing this is they can disrupt my communions, but if we look at it, you know, they killed, even if they killed, I think they killed everybody, right? So that's 6 mages. That's nothing for my total commander production. It can be annoying for disrupting troop movement, but that's about it. Okay, we've cast Living Castle. Let's see where we cast it. Okay, we cast it here, but unfortunately Abysia attacked us as we cast it, which means our fort has no siege defense, which is a son of a bitch. Now, I'm gonna try to come out. We're gonna break the siege, and we're gonna do Soul Slay. This is probably the wrong move. The right move is probably to Skelly spam at these guys, but I'm not totally sure if that's the right move. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of what we did. So Abysia is attacking me. Okay, we're also getting attacked by Horrors. This is a lot of Horrors, by the way. This is probably like 10 castings of Horrors. So he basically is going to send Horrors in to try to kill me. I guess these are going to be successful. Problem is our undead have really bad stats underwater, whereas the horrors are fine, so they just shoot through a ton of horrors. Like, if we look at my undead, pretty bad stats. So, that's unfortunate. We get wrecked by horrors. And then his Banelords moved in behind this army. And then more horrors here. This is probably like 3 or 4 castings of Lesser Horror. This is 2 castings. This is 2 castings. So he's got a lot of Lesser Horror spam. Sorry, one second, my dog's howling. Oh god, I can't see my thing. One second. Okay, and then you can see we got attacked by a golem here, and he killed everything. This actually is a little dangerous for a golem. I assume he has a charcoal shield, yeah. If he doesn't, if the battle time's out, he dies. But he can kind of just barely kill things fast enough. Like, even just the Skelly spam stream, if we just get it to hit for him to retreat, then it's all over. Anyway, there's that. So, it was successful. That was this one, Silverwall. Battle in Satis. He attacked me with some horrors, killed some ghouls, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure why I had ghouls patrolling, but that's not very smart. Spirewood, he sent a golem at me. Night Marsh. Some more horrors. I think we'll be able to kill these, actually. You know, it's a lot of horror spam. Horror spam is pretty effective, but if I'm patrolling all my provinces with a ton of undead, it's not a huge deal. More blood slaves. And then we have a ton of battles. So we're not going to go... Okay, we'll just click through these real fast, then we'll go see where the big ones were. Okay, I'm gonna do the quick summary. Okay, I'm successful on Agartha. So I'm 1 for 1 with Agartha, 2 for 1 with Agartha. Abysia attacks me. Abysia is 1 for 1. 2 for 2. Okay, I'm 3 for 3 with Agartha. Agartha takes 1 back from me, so I'm down to 2 provinces up on Agartha. I attack Agartha and fail. So that, which one was this one? That was this one. So I'm still up 2 provinces on Agartha. I attack him here and I win, so I'm up 3. Abysia attacks me, he's up 3 provinces. Abysia attacks me here, he's up 4. I attack Agartha. Looks like I was successful. Oh no, Agartha attacks me and was successful. Okay, so I'm only up, what? 3 on Agartha now, because I was 4, so down 1. We'll just click through these, see if there's any big battles. I'm not going to sit here and read all this. When you get to this late in the game, it kind of gets a little ridiculous to try to narrate everything. Okay, let's see this battle. We had a big battle with a golem. I don't know what the outcome was, but... a lot of golems. Thing is, golems don't really regen. So, okay, this one's got a ton of HP. I guess that's from Gift of Hell. Yeah, we're not going to kill him. Unless he doesn't retreat. If we have enough Skelly spam, we can keep it where our guys won't rout. And if we don't rout, the battle can time out. And if the battle times out, he dies. No matter how much HP he has. And it looks like we're keeping enough skeletons on the field where we're not going to rout. Oh no, he just barely didn't get it. We're somewhere down here, I think. We're right here. Okay. Where the hell was that golem battle? Okay, well there's some big battles down here. Anyway, we watched the golem battle. We'll stumble into it in a minute. Okay, we lose a little raiding party here to Abysia. And let's watch this one. There's a big battle in Mir. I didn't see how it came out, but maybe you did. But we have a pretty sizable army. This is about 1,000 undead. We've got a pretty solid communion behind them. I don't think this is a gym. Oh no, it probably is. Alright, there goes natural rain, so their heat aura is not going to do as much. What is that, Strength of Giants? Yeah, so they hit pretty damn hard now. I don't have any earth magic, so I'm probably going to lose this because these magma children are going to do a lot of damage. But these magma children cost gems, and my guys just cost mage turns. Okay, probably not going to go well. Let's see how many thaumaturgs we lose. Run, little thaumaturgs. Okay, so that was in Mir. So we killed a few alchemists, 18 magma children. Not a good trade. We lost a ton of thaumaturgs, so that was bad. Lost another fight. Arnberg. We seem to have won there. Abysia attacked us here and lost. We attack Agartha and win. We attack Agartha and... Okay, here is what I was talking about. Is this the same one where he has 2,000 something? I think it is. Yeah, this is the one. So, as we saw it, he won, but it's a little replay glitch. Yeah, you can see he died, and he killed all of our stuff. So what happened is we spammed the field with undead, and he was just at the threshold with the battle we watched. But because one of our guys didn't make it off the battlefield in time, basically his golem died, giving us the items. And that's just from the battle timeout and from the fact that we had a communion slave who was fatigued out. So that is that. Let's go to that province real quick. So you can see we got some of his gear, which is nice. Most of our guys, however, retreated, and that is a ton of dudes in there. We'll talk about that in a minute. We raid Agartha successfully. I think I'm coming out ahead. Abysia has taken a lot from me, more than Agartha has actually in terms of their raiding. Has a pretty big army here. I attack Agartha and win. Abysia attacks me, nothing happens. Agartha attacks me and wins. Abysia attacks me. We attack Agartha and die. So this is looking just kind of like we die a lot. It is kind of what's happening. We must kill all these guys. There's no way we lose this. Okay, yeah, but oh, we killed our communion slaves. Our communion was unbalanced. I was wondering how that happened. Okay, so we got a fort, though, and we got 70 gems, so they're spending a lot more gems than they were. We were at 28 or something before. We got some bad events, which is fine. One of our scouts was discovered, and you can see we're under siege in a million places. And then we have... Though a lot of the places we're under siege, nobody's threatening to crack our forts, but the places we're sieging, you can see we breached 3 forts here. 4 forts, I think. So that's all okay, actually. So I think it is. Let's take a look. So what happened? And the thing is, the thing is, if we only look at the world map, we're gonna miss like half of the things, and I end up missing some of the important fights if I just look around here. But just looking at the battle, you don't really get a sense for like this battle list what happened. So Abysia did very, very heavy raiding here. He's got a golem here. He's got a Banelord here. He's got Father Illerth here. He's got a Banelord here. So he's locking down all my forts, so I can't really move. Meanwhile, he's got a ton of dudes on top, and he's probably got a bunch of these guys. Let's just look at this army. Probably a lot of them are priests, and they're going to be preaching. Oh, we can't see. That's another nice thing when you do horror attacks. it will clear the province in the magic phase. Then when the army comes in the normal movement phase, you have no idea what's in it, aside from this little script. And then we took this, but Abysia is doing a very, very good job raiding us. So we still have an opening here, but the fact we were going to push through even harder, but getting hit so hard from Abysia is going to make it really hard for us to push our way down into these provinces. And I'm really not excited. Abyssia's got a pretty big group of dudes on here, and I'm not really excited about having to fight him. Or, well, I'm really not excited about him getting this throne, because that's going to give him a huge amount of dom push over this way with Purgatoria. So that is not terribly exciting. What we're doing is we're building temples. Every fort I take, I'm going to build a temple in it ASAP, so I'm doing one here. I have to win the Dominion War against Abysia. That's super important. If we look around, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I think there's a small army in here, but I don't think it's a big one. And we have cracked it, and there's nobody who can come knock us off it. So we're going to come in and attack. This little group is going to come down here and raid. I've got a big group of dudes here. He's got a huge army of guys here. I'm worried about him throne rushing and going for this, because if we look at the throne situation, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 throne points. This one here is the Throne of Fortune, which if we look at it, is a level 2 throne. So that's going to get him up to 7. And I think he has another level 2 throne he hasn't claimed. Or no, he just got this one from me. And this one is the Throne of Night, which he probably hasn't claimed. Yeah, so he has this one too. And I don't know where the Throne of Pestilence is, but he may have that. I think, and this is because I'm recording this a little bit after the game, I definitely knew this at the time. I think this is the last throne he needs to win, and so when I see an army like that, which is really big, and I think it got here largely through Gateway, this army is headed over this way, I think. But no matter, we are going to jump here on top of this fort, and this is an important fort because it has the underworld, which will let me get gnomes, which will solve my very, very bad do not have earth mages problem, so I definitely want that. Now, this army has a decision. It can continue to follow me, but it's not going to want to, because I'm going to have another army, which is popping back here onto this fort. And this is a big enough army where it should one turn crack it. But depending where he is, I can go check either of these forts again. Now, he could catch me if he moves here, like moves and patrols here, but it's just random, and I can afford to lose. I mean, this is something I can completely afford to lose. I mean, if we look at how many mages I've got and priests, I can afford to lose these. I'm still researching a ton, which is an indicator of how much my mage reserve is. And I kind of want to keep a mage reserve. I don't really want to overextend too much. And then Abysia is attacking here. So a bunch of kind of shit is going down. What happened? Who attacked me here? It's probably just the scout. So he's pinging me. So, and he's raided all this part of the lake. So if we look at what is my plan, well, it's a good question. My plan is going to be a fewfold. One is, and I have to find out where all my astral mages are. We are going to be mind hunting the Bane Lords. Okay, here's one of them. I knew there was somewhere. Mind hunting 8. What the hell is 8? Okay, I guess I'm getting the Bane Lords on top of this. Hopefully if I kill one, I'll have a better job killing these guys when I jump out and spam Soul Slay. But Mind Hunt is one of those spells that always works better when somebody else is casting it. I don't have any of the penetration boosters, so there's that. I know I have another Astral 3 that I think I threw a skull cap on. He's mind hunting somewhere. I don't know where he's doing it from, but I know he's around. Is he down here? Okay, yeah, this guy is. He's casting it at 139, which is right here. So, that's okay. We'll try to kill the Bane Lords, and then we're going to go raid. I don't think it's likely Abysia is going to be able to hold the ocean from me, but we'll see. The most immediate problem... Okay, well, there's not the most. There's a few... We're going to have... The most immediate problem, actually, yeah. I think it is a little more immediate than the Agarthan push this way. Is... we need to kick Abysia off. And... I've got a big army coming in to do this. Now, this is probably 2,000 troops? Or 1,500? I don't know. But we've got the Troll King for Army of Gold. We've got the Communion Master and the Horde of Skeletons. And I think, at this point in time, I'm also telling Abysia that we can fight, and that's fine. I understand you attacking me. I would probably do it too. But Agartha is about to win with the Throne Rush. So, what I'm telling him is just... be prepared. You need to be able to take one throne from him. And I think this is the only throne he can kind of take. So I can't remember what I do here. I may... either this turn or next. I think I probably am going to give him this so he can go attack this throne if he needs to. I don't have a big enough army right now to take that, I don't think. So I'm going to do that, but I'm not at peace with him, and he's all in my land. Obviously, we're not at peace. So, basically the name of the game, we're going to fight this with almost everything we have in this portion of the map. We are going to have a bunch of guys patrolling, and they're going to be patrolling with Unholy Command and Advance and cast spells. And that way, if we run into a Bane Lord, we will be in good shape. I don't have anything to take golems out specifically. These guys will be breaking siege, and we have a communion where we're spamming out life for a life. And the reason is I expect there's going to be some kind of super combatant here. And so spamming out life for a life, we should basically annihilate whoever is standing there. This guy is going to sneak an attack over here. So yeah, he'll be joining the communion. Basically doing Sabbath Master and then Rush of Strength from my skeletons, which is really good on skeletons. It's kind of the main reason you go for blood with Sceleria if you can. And then Reinvigoration. This is the main reason I went blood, is just to spam out Rush of Strength. There's some other stuff that's nice too, like Blood Rain, but that's kind of, I think, the best thing for us. Yeah, we're breaking siege here. Do we have anybody here breaking siege? I don't think so. Do we have two vampires coming in here? Oh, I think we do. One of them's doing life for a life. They're both doing Rush of Strength. Okay, interesting. I don't know if I knew that, actually, but... that's basically it for this turn. So we should have a big battle with Abysia here. And then hopefully we catch some of his raiders and catch them with life for a life, which is what we're trying to do with the Blood Mages here. It's a really good spell. Once you get late in the game, it's really dangerous attacking a Blood Nation with thugs or super combatants because they can hit you with life for a life if you were unlucky. So we're going to roll those dice. I think we've got a good chance of catching him because he's got so many thugs. There's a big group here we also have to prepare. So we're moving in some troops. The problem is I don't have a ton of troops I can move in. We're getting, what, assassinated here too? Yeah, Disease Demon. So... the thing is, I want to move these guys, but I also kind of need to preach and patrol. So I think I'm just going to preach and patrol here, and then once I have a big army here, then I can potentially consolidate them downwards. The problem is I'm going to lose this fight. I'm going to lose this fight with Abysia. Hope we can see his army, yeah. Because he's going to Firestorm, and that's really all it's going to take to kill me. I think I'm going to lose this fight unless I can bring an Earth Mage. And right now I don't have an Earth Mage who can easily make it. I've got this Troll King who's going to come from my capital, but that's about it. Taking this province actually is going to be super key for me if the game goes on much longer, because having Earth Gnomes is going to be really important. But yeah, I think that's about it. So anyway, we'll have a good episode next turn. Or we'll have a good turn next episode, so I hope you tune in to watch it. See you guys.